evening. I wanted to take a minute and introduce myself. I don't think that we've had the chance to meet. My name's Amanda Lancaster, and tonight I represent Mr. Spelunker and Dreamworld in these negotiation discussions. And I just wanted to take a minute to thank you for working around my Hawaii timetable here and time zone issues so that we could get this discussion started. As I understand it, this meeting was set up by Mr. Red and Mr. Spelunker after a very unsuccessful court-ordered mediation session. The parties decided to try to give it another go through negotiation. And I think that that shows quite a bit of, or it shows the parties are really interested in settling out of court or outside of traditional litigation. And so I want to do my best to also work to meet their goals, to meet Mr. Spelunker's goal to, settle this and get a resolution and some sort of future relationship between him and Mr. Red started or continued. So as I understand it, this negotiation is to discuss three claims, or the three claims that were part of the lawsuit. That includes a breach of contract claim, a fraud claim, and a libel claim. That's merging the claims from both sides. So I just kind of wanted to make sure that everybody understood where they were all coming from. I am merging both sides' claims. And I just wanted to, again, highlight that, my client has shared his interest to settle this through negotiation. And so I'm going to do the best that I can to get a mutually agreeable settlement for both parties, specifically meeting, as many of my client's interests as I can. And to do that, I think I want to do a quick relapse of the facts as I know them. I am going to try to keep them a little bit neutral. So I don't want it to seem like my client is taking no responsibility in this situation. So again, they're a little bit neutral. So the issues, I understand them, relate to a dispute of a contract between Mr. Red and Dreamworld regarding filming for Franklin's Ferry for a mule named Morgan. Apparently the filming with Morgan was unsuccessful and caused some issues with loss of time, reshoots being required, some concern by the actresses and actors that were, part of the film, scaring them, causing them not to be wanting to be on set with the mule. And what this did was it required Dreamworld to contract with another mule, which again, goes back to the reshooting. They weren't the same color, so that caused some reshooting, loss of time, and that is part of the monetary amount that Dreamworld included in the breach of contract claim. There's also some concern over the promises that Mr. Red made in his representation and warranties in the contract, mainly that Morgan was his mule and was trained, and he could control her. In reality, I guess that wasn't the case. It was someone else's mule, and they ended up having to have the trainer come on as a attempt to get it handled before the contracting of the new mule. But there's also some concerns over statements made by Mr. Spelunker about Mr. Red, and I'm going to read those directly from the transcript. So my understanding is the comments were, Red is the worst animal actor trainer in the business, and he flat out lied to us about Morgan, who is nothing more than an unruly pain in the butt. So I understand that this is kind of what's gotten us here. And I think without a little bit more information on what Mr. Red's demands, needs, and interests are, I can't offer much, but I can offer that it is the intention of Mr. Spelunker and Dreamworld to potentially contract some future filming with Mr. Red and other animals. And so while that doesn't necessarily give you a lot of information, it does tell you that they want to seek a future professional relationship with Mr. Red. That will come initially with some very strict expectations and contingencies, but again, that can be a time-based thing and not a forever thing. And so I just kind of wanted to pass this over to you now to give some of your background and your clients' needs and interests and continue the conversation.